This is Facebook Live. I'm Jeff Koinange here at SportPesa offices here in Nairobi with a one-on-one with SportPesa CEO Captain Ronald Corral. We're going to be talking not only about SportPesa, but also about a new initiative that started. It's called Tujiamini. This is when we recognize and honor our athletes, especially the unsung heroes. And this is a fantastic initiative. I want you guys to call in, write in, ask your questions one-on-one, because this is an opportunity that not many people get to have. Let's kick it off. Captain, good to see you.
Good to see you again, Jeff.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
By the way, we're on the SportPesa Facebook page, also Tujiamini Facebook page, and also my very own Facebook page, Jeff Koinange. Go to it, ask your questions, and we'll ask the captain right here. So, Tujiamini.
Yes.
Launched on Tuesday. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
What does it mean?
Tujiamini, we need every Kenyan to get involved. And that's why it says Tujiamini. The perception has been the solution in sports is SportPesa. You know, anybody who has a problem, they want to run and say, okay, SportPesa, I need to do something to help the situation. Right. But we can't do everything alone. So Tujiamini is a three-pronged approach, especially for the public. The first thing, we have a website, tujiamini.co.ke. What we want to do is, there's so much talent in Kenya, and it's impossible to reach all the corners of Kenya to find this talent. For example, we have the SportPesa Super 8 grassroots, but it's only for Nairobi. So we can identify the football talent in Nairobi, but probably there's a superstar in Kisii, there's a superstar in Kisumu, Mandera, who we don't know. So what we're asking, when you log on to Tujiamini, it has a section where you can mention the name of this hero you think is a star. Then you post a photo of that person. Then it comes onto the page, you give a small bio, and then we are able to recognize that person. Okay, we have a lot of partnerships outside with Everton, who graced us to be in the first game in Africa in Tanzania. Yes. We have Arsenal, we have Southampton, La Liga, so many partnerships which we can utilize to help all this untapped talent in Kenya.
So that's going to be like an academy sort of thing where you funnel
exactly
and you channel players into the...
Exactly.
Wow.
So once we get all this talent in all the sports, then as SportPesa with our partnerships, and not SportPesa alone. Remember now, we want to involve all the stakeholders, including government, including other corporates. Safaricom is a big supporter of sport. So I hope Safaricom also will be part of the plan so that if we see something we're not able to do, we can point them in the right direction. So that's the first thing. If you snap a shot of someone who's good at boxing, cricket, anything, you just put it there as a hero, as a future talent. Could be 6 years old, 10, 15, whatever, you just post it on there. Then we take it up from there and see what we can do.
Okay.
Second thing, there's a second one.
Yeah.
The second one is, this came about because I don't know if you had the sad story about the Malkia Strikers, our national volleyball team.
No water.
No water, no electricity.
And they keep winning.
Yes. You know, it's shocking, huh? Shocking. No training ground. We had to rescue them. We paid for their training for 1 week. Otherwise, they would have gone for the tournament with no training at all. We gave them kits, and we just got them some pair of sneakers that are coming in from Dubai so that we can help. They came a bit late, but you know we were trying to salvage a situation. So we want people also to post, for example, a story of somebody who is a star, but they're suffering somewhere. You know, something just to recognize that, okay, there's a problem that exists somewhere, so that collectively, remember as I said, it's not a SportPesa to be the solution, but as Kenyans, we will all come together and find a solution. For example, today morning, you are able to raise a significant amount of money
in less than an hour.
Less than an hour. And you know, what we want to do is that some of the solutions are not just money. You know, like Congestina's case, which we are also looking at.
Correct.
We don't want to just throw money and say, okay, we are giving Congestina money, because that's a short-term solution, you know. That's fish, just feeding fish instead of teaching
how to fish.
Exactly, so that's what we want to do. Then the third one is just for people to pour their support. For example, some people don't have any sports background. They don't know where to get a photo of someone who can play sports. So just to pledge your support, you just put your name there and a photo there, then you upload it onto the website. So on that, tujiamini.co.ke is where the magic will happen. That's where it starts. That's where we as Kenyans, we show that we are really a sporting nation, because that's what we are. Yes. Then we will put everybody together. We'll talk to government. Hopefully politics ends soon and we can sit down with government and come up with solutions.
Yes.
So that's Tujiamini.
Fantastic. And the hashtag is Tujiamini.
Yes.
Well done. And by the way, lots of questions coming in thick and fast, as they say. Thick and fast.
Yeah.
Richie, and by the way, he mentions what you said before. There are all these younger leagues out there being sponsored by other companies.
Yes.
If I can mention, Airtel or Brookside. He said, how can Team Tujiamini assist all these other companies in managing the school games? Because there's a lot of potential there.
Exactly. And that's something we've brought up with the federation, because we said, we've been riding on raw talent for too long. For example, in Europe, a football player, by the time they're 6 or 7, they've already been identified and they've said, this guy is going to be a star, and they take them through that path. For us, somebody gets to 18 is when you're like, okay, this guy can play football. And we still perform. It means the talent is there. So through the federation, that one we have to do through the federation, because we cannot touch schools. The federation is trying to come up with programs, and we're helping that through training the coaches, because now we've been able to train even school coaches through the federation. So they can be able to identify talent from that young age. So by that time they come up to the league, they are proper stars.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
By the way, just a quick reminder, you can get onto the Tumaini Facebook page, the Sports Special Facebook page, Jeff Koinange Facebook page, and ask your questions. And by the way, this is real time, so the questions are coming in thick and fast. There you go. All right. What are Sports Special's plans for upcoming talent? Asked by Richard Muridi, upcoming talent.
Exactly, and that's why I'm saying the gap is in identifying the talent. We could do as much as we can, but then we don't know where to find this talent. And that's why Tujiamini, the site, becomes a very powerful tool in identifying the talent. I cannot predict the future, but imagine a situation whereby we have all these people on the Tujiamini page. Let's say we have 1,000 talented football stars, potential. Then we can come up with a sort of a camp. Then we can invite Arsenal. Then they can take all these 1,000 players. I'm just giving an example because we haven't gone that far yet. Then from there, we can pick a certain number of people who we know for sure, even if they are 10 years old, 15 years old, these are the future stars, and then we use the same path to lead them through. So that is the power of what Tujiamini is starting now.
That's incredible. That's really good. People want to know, what do we want to do as fans? What can we do as fans? And how is this beneficial to us as Kenyans?
Exactly. The fans, get on the page Tujiamini. You don't have to be, I could be myself. I used to play basketball before, I can't play anymore. But if I support Tujiamini, I just go on the page, put my name, and say there, I'm just pledging my support for Tujiamini. Then we populate the page. We are so many Kenyans. Imagine now if the page gets this huge number of support. The small problems we have, for example, I might not have the solution. Somebody out there has a solution for Congestina or for somebody else. If we all come together, we can find all the solutions. It's not SportPesa to just pour money, which is now running out, especially with new tax regulations. But, so if we all come together as fans, pledge your support. You don't have to know anybody who can play football. Just pledge your support on the page. And we start a very fantastic program.
When you started this initiative, did you think maybe this is too big for us? I mean, this is more than we can chew. Did you think?
Honestly, we didn't. And, when we started, we just started with the Super 8, which was so small and, with a little bit of visibility. And then it started growing bigger than us. When you take on Harambee Stars national team, because now myself, I have to watch when they lost in Sierra Leone. Our next game is against Ghana. So hopefully through Tujiamini, that stadium will be fully packed. We'll be live on all the stations. Kenyans rally, for our team. Now it's becoming such a heavy load because we cannot develop stadia. That belongs to somebody. That responsibility belongs to somebody else. We can help, but really we can't do everything. So that's why we want now everybody to come on board. Kenyans themselves, they need to put their support. No, stop bashing everyone left, right, center. Let's support our stars.
And stop blaming people.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Mokua asks, what measures do you intend to implement to make sure that Kenyans come out to support Kenyan athletes for the Tujiamini initiative?
This is one of the steps. I'm talking to you, Jeff. And you're the people who will help us in the media because we need to put this out there. We need to make people aware of the power of sport. Sport is what keeps us together. We have politics now, but if there was a game or there was athletics somewhere, our athletes are winning, we'd all be glued to the TV and cheering. We forget who's a Kale, who's a Kikuyu. It unites the whole country. It's very powerful. So we just need to drive that forward for people to understand that it's a very powerful tool that we need to
sort
use.
of like that Jazza Casa thing the other day,
Yes.
the World Youth Championships.
Fantastic.
Incredible.
Incredible.
4 days of packed
Yes.
Kasarani.
Yes. IAAF were impressed and they were happy to have done the event in Kenya. So those are the things we need to see.
Sure.
Yeah.
Tom Bwana asks, hey, Captain, next year is Gor Mahia's 50th anniversary. Get ready for this.
I can tell where it's going.
Exactly. Any chance SportPesa can, 1, organize so they play a combined team of Everton and Barcelona? 2, organize for the club a trip to Madrid.
Now they want to go to Spain. Okay. But God, I give them props. You know, against Everton, the world was impressed. I think, thought it'd be a walkover.
And Rooney was there.
Rooney was there.
Were you there?
Of course.
You were there. So
how could I miss it? But God, I just want to give them respect. I think it increased their confidence. They're probably going to win the league, this month by a lot of, they're way ahead. Because now I think they feel they belong in the EPL, not the SportPesa Premier League, which is good.
Yeah. In case you're joining us right now, I'm talking to the SportPesa CEO, Captain Ronald Karauri. We're talking about Tujiamini, new initiative started by SportPesa that's going to turn things around when it comes to recognizing, honoring, and appreciating our athletes. Gishuru Muirori asked earlier on, maybe he got in a bit late on this discussion. He's saying, what is Tujiamini? Just in case people are joining us late.
Yes, for everybody joining us, Tujiamini is as simple as it sounds. We need to believe in ourselves. We have so much talent. As I said before, we've been winning in sports since the 60s. Before, people knew rugby existed. When rugby was for the Wazungus, as they used to say, we were still winning.
Correct.
Athletics, I was with Kipchoge Keino the other day. He told me when they used to travel, their allowance was 2 shillings and 50 cents when you travel out of the country. I swear to God. Yes. And we were winning then. And now we are struggling to win because we are depending too much on raw talent. So Tujiamini is a call to everyone to join SportPesa. We cannot do it alone. What we are doing is calling on everyone to join the Tujiamini movement. Go to Tujiamini website on tujiamini.co.ke. 1, pledge your support simply by just putting your names, uploading your photo, and saying I pledge my support. 2, by putting a photo of a talent that you know. 6-year-old kid and you believe he's the next Messi. Put the photo there, put the name. Then through our initiatives, our partnerships, we can find a way of getting those guys into camp together, do something for them so that we can raise these stars from a young age. 3rd, if you see a hero who you feel they're not being recognized, we've had so many cases, let's put them all together there. Then we find solutions together. SportPesa is not the answer for everything. Tujiamini is a call for everybody in Kenya. Government, corporate, private sector, Kenyans, individual Kenyans, and individual Kenyans are the most powerful, to come together so that we do this together.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Good point there. So, Captain, they say sports is the biggest untapped resource we have in this country.
Yes.
But at the same time, it looks like we have taken advantage of us athletes.
Yes.
Maybe we take them for granted.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
Is it, you agree with that?
I do agree.
And how can we turn that psyche, that thinking around?
Yeah, we need to do, because once we are through this initiative, what we want to do is that we need to create proper stars. There are a lot of things that have happened in the past which sadly happened, the sad stories of Congestinas and so many other athletes. As I said, if you walk down the street, you don't even recognize them. So with this campaign, we hope in the years to come, we have proper stars. And it's the same problem I said we have in our music. We don't have stars. So the young people, when they look for stars, they look outside the country. So we want to change that. We want to broadcast, make these people stars so that they have that respect. And every Kenyan can recognize every star. If you look at some of the videos that are on social media, some people can't recognize anybody. Yeah. They don't know who did what. So we need to change that with this campaign.
And you think we'll be able to? I
am 100% sure. I told you I'm a positive person. Yes, That's why I'm starting Tujiamini in the midst of all these issues. We have to stay positive. We have to push, and that's what we'll do. As SportPesa, we'll just keep pushing until it gets into everyone's mind, until sports becomes again one of the biggest things we are known for. We are known for that, but we can be so much better.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Look, every marathon on the planet, there's a Kenyan taking part.
And expected to win.
Up until Chicago last week, but that's another story.
Shocking story.
It was shocking. But have we taken, again, I come back to that question, have we taken our athletes for granted?
It's true.
You think Chicago, Madrid, London, New York, Kenyans going to win.
Yes, Jeff. And let me give you an example. When the Malkia strikers were being asked, and they were talking about training with no lighting. Do you know what they said? But we are used to this. This is Africa. Then they said, this should not be an excuse for us not to win. So it means we expect them to win, no matter how much we bash them, no matter how they have no facilities to train. We just sit back and say, how come they didn't win? Then we blame them. We don't realize the hardship they are going through, flying that flag for us, turning down Bahrain and Qatar to just fly the flag. And then us as Kenyans, all we do is bash them. So we really do take them for granted. We really do.
Yeah.
Sometimes talent is a curse because, these guys are so talented. We always expect them to win. Yes. We don't care how they trained, whether they ate.
And if they don't win,
then it's a problem. Then they trend. If they win, nobody knows. If they don't win, it becomes a trending item on Twitter.
Willis Raburu, you say, loving the conversation with Captain Karauri. Indeed, we need to build the local talent and create more exposure.
Fantastic. Thank you, Willis.
Indeed. I mean, there's a lot of support coming in. By the way, a lot of people love this initiative.
Thank you. That's
they want
fantastic.
to see how they can take part.
Yes.
Edwin Diko says, good initiative, Captain. Well done. Kinyua Gishohi asked, loving the initiative, we have the talent. I'm more worried about the infrastructure.
Yes.
How can we improve that?
Exactly. And, a while back we had started talking about City Stadium, how we can partner with the county government. And that's why I'm saying some of these things we can't do alone. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. Some of these relationships, they fall out. And we had thought of ourselves buying our own land and building our own stadium. But then that becomes very difficult if you cannot plan your business for at least 5 years. If I don't know what will happen to the business next year, why should I plan building a stadium? And, nobody knows what's next. That's why we need some stability also in the industry. But nonetheless, SportPesa doesn't have to do anything. In fact, infrastructure is a big responsibility of government. Of course, once we sit down with them on the table, we can discuss of public-private partnerships where we can help as much as we can, of course, with other partners, not SportPesa alone. Everybody's interested in sports, corporates, Safaricom, KCB, they do a lot. So we can all partner together and help government where they need the help. Come up with all the infrastructure. Small pitches, these cheap pitches people are playing on, they're not expensive. You don't need a full stadium. You just need to go to Kericho, build artificial turf. You go to Jeri, artificial turf, small pitch, not expensive, with lighting, and it's magic.
It's doable.
Yeah, it's doable. Easily doable.
It's a life changer. Or game changer, if you will.
Complete game changer. Facilities change everything.
I was looking at the Hong Kong 7 circuit, right?
Yes,
Rather, Rugby 7 circuit in the Hong Kong Stadium.
Fantastic.
You see it. It's in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
Planes are flying overhead. The buildings are all over.
Yeah, and there's no space in Hong Kong. It's like, small, it's like Nairobi, I guess.
It's one of the biggest in the circuit.
Yeah.
And we could have one here
for our guys. It can be done. It can be done, I'm telling you. It just needs that drive. And that's what we want to start today. We need to push for it. If we don't do it, we might sleep on it and it never happens. So, with your help and all Kenyans, we'll definitely do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mwasa Mwangi says, great initiative, Captain. What's the most important thing the Tujiamini campaign aims to achieve in one line?
In one line is creating our future stars. That is the one thing that we want to do.
Creating our future stars.
Yes, creating our future stars so that, we can't look back at the past for so long. We keep saying we should have done this or that. Let's start from here and move forward.
Absolutely.
Let's create the future stars.
Yes. Catherine Modoni says, it's an initiative that comes in a time when we need good news as a nation. We can focus on the positives. Very encouraging.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Naomi Mutua is asking, is financial education part of the project? Because I feel that this is the biggest problem, lack of acumen by our sports people.
Good idea. And you know what? I had not even thought of that. And that's why Tujiamini is involving all Kenyans. For us, right now we're focusing on finding the talent, pushing the talent forward, but that could be stage 2. It's well said, because these are the kind of comments when we involve everybody. There's so many ideas out there that can really help this initiative. So that's a very good point. Of course, we'll take that point in and see what we can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Svetlana, she must be tweeting in from Russia or somewhere. It's just, what do you expect to gain by the end of the Tujiamini campaign?
Oh, Russia is listening in.
Imagine.
Yes. Now, what we want, what we want initially, as a start, is the support. We want everybody to go to the website. Everybody to go to the website. Pledge your support. Get these photos of your talent coming in. Give us the stories of whoever plays basketball so well, whoever plays cricket so well, onto that site. Then we can move on from there, because that's the simple beginning. So for now, to start is that website. Log on, pledge your support, put in photos of the talent that you know, then we will take a step from there.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that website is SportPesa Facebook page and also Tujiamini Facebook page.
Yes.
One more question before I let you go, because I think we're out of time and you have a meeting to go to. Good question here. Do you think sport will ever become a viable profession in Kenya?
I am 100% sure. Hopefully it happens while I'm still here, because that's what I'm pushing for, but I'm sure it will happen. So long as we start this campaign, sports is taken seriously. The investments come in. So long as there's no investment in sport, there'll be no money in sport. Yeah. If you don't have facilities, if you don't have stadiums, if people don't go to the matches, there can never be money, because sports makes a lot of money. When I went for the El Clasico, the Barcelona Real Madrid,
yes.
That game alone, I think, made a few billion shillings in ticket sales. One game in ticket sales. Why? Because of the brand of Real Madrid, the brand of Barcelona. The ticket prices match the brands. So, you know, we can get to that level. It's just that the investment is not enough. Right. People are not getting sponsorships, or rather partnerships, broadcast. Those things, when they kick in, it'll be a viable.
Someone else was asking earlier on, Formula One.
Yes.
If they were to build a track here in Kenya, you think they would come? If you build it, would they come?
They will definitely come.
Because there's nothing in Africa.
We got a proposal for rally track. I can't remember which one, but for a rally track. And they were saying, instead of South Africa, we'll come to Kenya. But you don't have a track. So can you guys help build a track? We were like, okay, SportPesa doesn't build tracks. Okay, we can try talk to government or somebody. But Kenya is a very attractive destination. Sometimes we hold ourselves back, but if you build it,
they will come. Yes. Captain, last words. That's your camera there. Give us some final thoughts.
Final thoughts is just to, again, tell everyone that, you know, I know we're going through a lot of politics, but this is the time to focus on something that takes our mind from it. Sport is what unites us. We have so much talent in Kenya. The rugby players, I think, when we started playing rugby, all they had was good food, no training. You just go onto the pitch, you play and you win. So what we want to do is get the support of all Kenyans. It's not SportPesa alone that will change sports in Kenya. It is government. It is each and every single Kenyan. Get on tujiamini.co.ke, pledge your support. If you have someone who has some talent, upload their photos there, and that's a beginning for the future.
No doubt about it. A beginning for the future. Captain Ronald Karauri of SportPesa and the Tujiamini campaign, they've started it. It's a start. It's fantastic.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you
Good
so
luck.
much.
All
Thank
the
you
best,
very
and we'll
much.
support you 100% of the way.
Thank you for the support, Jeff.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for calling in, listening in, texting in, Facebook in, and sending all your comments and questions. We're going to be doing this very often. Stay tuned. Thanks so much for joining us. Again, the sites are SportPesa Facebook page, Tujiamini Facebook page. Get on it. Ask the questions. You will get replies. People are available to talk to you each and every time you ask and pose a question. Thanks for joining us. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you very much.
From the dusty fields of our estates, great footballers have been born. And if we believe in our own today, nothing out there can stop us from being top of the world. Tujiamini. SportPesa, made of winners.